Donnie and Dolly, the team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Still waiting to hear from Ian Furness, KJR Sports Radio down in Seattle, Fox 13 Sports. Today's guest brought to you by Langley Chrysler. This season is filled with holiday magic. And at Langley Chrysler, they're celebrating by giving you up to $10,500 off Ram and up to 15% off Jeep. As well, they are giving you an extra holiday cash gift, and they will donate a second cash gift to a family in need. To learn more, visit us online at langleychrysler.com. We got Ian? No, not yet? Okay. So we're waiting on Ian. The Kraken, and there's a lot, of course, going on down in Seattle these days. Seahawks, 3-8 and all of that. Playing San Francisco on Sunday. Mariners signing Robbie Ray. But how about the Kraken?
Oh.
How about the Kraken, Rick? They host the Oilers tonight. Okay? Penguins on Monday. Not a bad back-to-back situation there down in Seattle for that expansion franchise. What a weekend it will be for hockey fans.
Only problem they got right now, Donnie, is injuries to Schwartz and Eberle. And they got a shootout loss in Detroit last night. But take a look at their seventh in the Pacific Division. The Canucks are 8th. Donnie, they've scored 9 more goals than the Canucks. Mm-hmm. I didn't see that. We understand, Pettersson, Besser are nowhere near where they need to be. But, man, when the expansion team's got 9 more goals than you, yikes.
Well, and what sticks out for me, and, again, we're waiting on Ian Furness, but Ian a few weeks ago goes, the Kraken are a terrible team. They're awful.
He was ripping them good.
He was ripping them. Right now, they're playing better than the Canucks are, other than maybe the last 2 games against the, Habs and Senators. But that's hard to take for a lot of Vancouver fans.
Donnie, 4-5-1 in their last 10, the Kraken. And also Jared McCann, 10 goals, 18 games.
Okay, we're waiting on Ian Furness, so let's talk about that for a second. Sidney Crosby is in town.
Yes, he is.
With the Vancouver Canucks. A rare visit by Sidney Crosby. We were going to go with this as a poll question. Maybe we'll do it somewhere down the line. Instead, we went the Mike Gillis way. But we were going to go with who is number 1 on your must-see list of NHL players. Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, Patrick Kane, Connor McDavid.
It's McDavid.
Yeah, I did number 1 for me. We good?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll continue that discussion later today or maybe another day. But right now, from KJR Sports Radio, Ian Furness. Better late than never. How are you, sir?
My apologies. My email didn't like Ryan's email. It was in the spam. So, Yeah. So I had to, because I'm known for my ability with technology, I moved it from one folder to another.
Yeah.
Because when it's in the spam, it doesn't allow you to click on the link. So my apologies.
I have no idea what you just said. Bottom line, you're here.
Known for my technology prowess, yes.
And punctuality.
Well, part of it was the bad email. But yes, absolutely. How are you guys?
Good. Oilers, before we get to the Seahawks and Mariners, but the Oilers in town on Friday or today with McDavid. Penguins on Monday with Sidney Crosby. Tell me you're going to one of those games, at least one of them. No?
Probably not. No, probably not. No, I'll worry about those guys next. I'll worry about them down the road. I got Seahawks stuff to worry about right now, and they make it really hard. I think I've talked about that before. I have no appetite to spend $50 to park to cover a game, so. Yeah, I'll probably wait. I'll probably wait on that.
That's just unbelievable.
It's the most media unfriendly team in the history of sports. So
really?
Yeah, but it's all right. Hey, they're new. Everyone loves them. That's good. So we'll see. But yeah, I have zero desire to go spend money to cover a game and that I'm going to talk about on the radio. So we just won't talk about it as much.
Well, I thought maybe you were going as a fan, Mr. Negative.
No, that's a mortgage payment. So no, I don't think so. That's a hard one to stomach with the wife. Yeah, I'm going to go spend a couple $100. No, I'll go at some point. I got to see them on the road and they're on television. So away we go. I mean, we're in a battle right now, the basement with you and with the Canucks and the Kraken. It's a big battle right now. I mean, the only difference is we're not firing Francis today.
Yeah, we're well aware of that. Hey, 6 games left for 6 games.
Did they fire Benning yet? What's going on up there?
No. We're talking today about rehiring Mike Gillis.
I heard another show that might do a podcast format in the afternoons talking about that the other day, and I literally almost drove off the road. Like, they're bringing back and Lawrence Gilman with them. Is that what we're going to do? They're going to bring them both back?
That's been talked about as well, yeah.
Sure, why not? What the hell? I mean, it just makes all the sense in the world. Oh, maybe the Seahawks will bring Holmgren back. I don't know.
Yeah. He still does media down there, so,
Hey, he's on our shows, man. We love Mike. I think at 73, though, he said he's pretty much done.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Although Pete Carroll's not much younger. Hey,
he's only 3 years younger. Yeah.
6 games left, Ian. For the a little strange to say, they're 3-8. 6 games left. It is a 17-game schedule. So 6 games left. They're not going to make the playoffs. So what should Seahawks fans be looking for? What should Pete Carroll be looking for in these remaining games?
Well, I'll tell you, Donnie, honestly, it's all seriousness. It's a lot like probably what's going on up there, where there's a lot of anger towards the organization. And the anger here is interesting because it's been, is it Pete's fault? Is it Russ's fault? Is it the offensive coordinator's fault? We always want to play the blame game. But this week was an added twist. They went out and signed Adrian Peterson to the practice squad.
Yes.
And everyone is like, what are you doing? Like, what are you First of all, let's remember why he left Minnesota. Using the old school switch on his kid and how that went over and everything like that. And now you bring a guy in who was just in Tennessee to maybe replace Derrick Henry with a good offensive line, unable to do so, wasn't productive. Now they're bringing him here for a season that's lost. Instead of playing your young running backs, they've got DJ Dallas. They got a kid named Josh Johnson on the practice squad that we all kind of liked when we saw him in training camp. And instead of going down that road, they're bringing this guy in. It makes no sense. And so there's a lot of anger, almost embarrassment, I think, in some ways, towards the organization. People aren't happy about it at all. It's an interesting time down here with the Seahawks.
Ian, a big signing by the Mariners this week. Robbie Ray, that's a lot of money. $150 million, 5 years. Your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts would be there's no salary cap in baseball. This is a franchise that had basically next to nothing on the payroll. They charge you $12 for a beer and $7 for a hot dog, and they've got a great television contract and a good radio contract. They got all the money in the world to spend. Spend it. They need to win. They need to win. And one of the big holes in their lineup was in the starting rotation. Marco Gonzalez is not a number one. I don't know if Robbie Ray is. He's coming off of Cy Young, so you put Cy and Young in front of the name, that makes you a number one starter, and he automatically makes them better. I mean, you go Ray, Marco, Flexen, Gilbert. You've got 4 guys. And that's a pretty good start for a team last year that really had, 2 guys to start the year and added Gilbert and Flexen was a big surprise. So I love the signing. I think guys, I think none of us in the world of sports, I mean, as Donnie said, Mr. Negative, but like nobody in that's a fan or a media member, listen, we're media members, we're fans of the sports, right?
Yes,
we're fans of the sport. None of us, especially with baseball locking out right now and the billionaires fighting the millionaires, nobody wants to see a frugal and cheap organization when there's no reason to be that. If you own a team, you're the steward of that franchise. Spend the money, make the franchise competitive. And for far too long here with this baseball team, it hasn't been the case. They have been cheap. They have been frugal. They've made mistakes. So I love the signing. It's a start. They still need to add to their lineup. Whenever that is, whenever the lockout ends, they need to add some bats to their lineup. But that's a nice start, and especially taking them from Toronto because last I checked, there's a little bit of a rivalry when they come down here in a normal year, normal circumstances. So I like that part of it too.
It's getting back to the Seahawks.
Sticking it to Toronto. You guys like
Yeah.
Oh, no,
we don't do that here.
I've never heard of that. By the way, you complain a lot about the prices at sporting events, the $12 beers with the Mariners and the $25 parking.
Well,
you want everything for free like most of us media people.
Well, yeah, if you're in the media, you want stuff for free. It's interesting, though, with and Donnie, I know for a long time, and Rick, probably the same way you traveled around. I mean, I've been to, I don't know how many NFL cities this year. They've played, what have they played? 6, 7 road games, whatever it is that we've been to. And I think Vancouver's probably the same way. We're just more expensive out here than other places. There's no reason for it.
Yep.
I mean, it's really embarrassing. I think what is charged an average fan to go to a game, not just for. I mean, we just went to DC. I mean, they've parking's $25. You go to Lambeau Field, it's $20 in someone's front lawn. I mean, they're not here. You can't go to a Seahawks game without getting charged $100 to park. That's wrong, right? I mean, that's just wrong.
Whatever happened to the 10-cent beer night at Comiskey Park in Chicago?
Yeah,
that went well.
Well, we saw how that ended. So,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you charge a few dollars more than that, Donnie, but, a loony or toonie or two for you guys and a dollar or two for us. But, yeah, it's your pricing. I've seen a lot of empty seats this year around the NFL. Yeah. I've seen a lot of empty seats, and I don't know what it's like for the NHL up there with you guys. We're in the honeymoon period down here. But I think you're going to start to see more of those. Games are on television. COVID. I think COVID's an issue. For us, it's a pain in the backside. I mean, we are more restrictive than any NFL market, period. There's no other place that you have to go that I've been to across the country in the States where you have to show a Vax card and do all the stuff you have to do to get in like you do here. So they're making it harder, and then they're pricing people out. I just think it's bad business.
Ian, just before we let you go, Barclay Parnetta says hi, the Giants GM.
Oh,
he just texted me and say hi to Ian.
One of my favorites, the former plumber done good, right? He was one of the best guys. When I was in Tri-Cities, he's one of my favorite people. And, man, I'll give him credit. Not many people can survive that long with Toigo. So, I mean, good for him. You work for big man that long, man. Hopefully he's got some white spot stock by now. He does. For him. Yeah. He's probably got a garage full of the little pirate ship things. He put the kids
pirate pack.
Right?
Pirate pack.
That's how he gets paid, Ian. That's how he gets paid. Pirate packs. Hey,
that's fantastic.
I was going to ask you if Pete Carroll's on the hot seat. Let's save that for next week. See how it goes against the 49ers. Thanks for this, Ian.
It won't go well, Donnie. So we'll talk about it next week.
Beautiful. Perfect. I'll save it then. Great. Thanks, Ian.